Nesavar. What's up, guys? It's Nesavar coming at you live through the power of Al Gore's baby. So, I don't know if you know, but there's a new COD coming out, and it recently had a beta, and I played it. That's actually me right there. I'm playing it right now that you see. And in honor of a new release of a new COD, I figured I would make a classic commentary gameplay video. So that's what we're doing. All right, that's enough. Tell him to shut up. Right here we have me on a map. Is he still talking? Using what I believe is the AUG, a submachine gun. Can somebody tell him? Let's see. You talked about my guns. Is he done? Impressions. He's still going. It's surprisingly balanced. It's okay. I'll wait. And, well, I guess that does it. As you guys saw on the screen before, I went 98-4, which is pretty standard for me. Thanks for watching my first commentary. We'll see you guys next time. All right, take care. Now? Okay, cool. All right, moving on. The reason I couldn't let him go on is because of this, right? We kind of expected loot boxes. I think we've all grown kind of to accept their existence to, certain extents. But typically, what we don't like to see are things that kind of break the game, weigh the game in a certain direction, benefit certain players over other players, and unfortunately it looks like that's where the game's going. See, loot boxes apparently include weapons and not just cosmetics. So, it's fucking fun when you don't have money to buy loot boxes, or you just happen to luck out and get a certain item from a loot box that makes you a beast in comparison to everyone else and completely throws off the balance of the game. It's different than Destiny, where you maybe grind out a raid or grind out a big mission and you get rewarded. It's something that anyone is capable of doing, anyone is capable of accomplishing. This is just stupid. It's bullshit. For us who are older, I don't think they care about our opinions anymore, right? If they press this, impress this amongst young players, and it's just standard to them from the time that they start gaming, and then they grow up and become old gamers, they're just waiting for us to kind of move on. So I don't think we'll ever see it change. It's frustrating, and I think it's kind of on us to inform the younger generation that this is bullshit. They're robbing you. They're making games unfair, unfun, and just not worth your money. Not worth your money. Especially when you're spending $60. It's one thing if you're adding on additional content, but when you're then requesting money from people for, again, things that I would argue you should just be able to get by grinding. Whatever happened to getting prestige and finding things, acquiring skins, and because then it was on you. It was there for anyone. It was just up to you of whether or not you actually wanted to go out of your way to do it. This is just not that. It's just money hungry. It's absolutely money hungry. And it's frustrating because, yes, I was having a lot of fun with this game. I loved the way it felt, the way it handled. It felt like they were giving as much attention to the, submachine guns, assault rifles, and people who play, that type of game. And I'm sure there's a lot of people who think that they already do that. But still, it felt balanced. The snipes, I sniped a couple times and was actually okay at it. It felt generous to people that maybe still wanted to go that route. I definitely still got sniped, but I felt like I had a chance. The maps felt really nice. They felt big and small at the same time. The fact that it could kind of take a small area and that add layers on a vertical direction instead of expanding it out. None of the maps felt long. I mean, we obviously haven't seen all of them yet, but none of the maps felt long. I didn't feel like I had to run an hour and a half after every spawn just to get back to the gameplay. You feel close to the gameplay whenever you spawn. The maps and felt conducive to good, fun, fair gunfights. Aside from that, the 10v10 aspect was just perfect. You felt like something was always going on, but it never felt overwhelming. And I think the map design had a lot to do with that. I never had big issues with spawn traps. The only times I felt that would be in domination, but it would always be very justified in the sense that we have C and B, and then suddenly one of your teammates is capping A, and you're like, oh, okay, well, we'll start seeing. Cool. All right. So circumstantially, it happens. Obviously, certain game modes lend to it more than others, but this one, it still didn't feel overwhelming. Yeah, it was great. Lots of things that I was excited for. They made it cross-platform right off the bat in the beta. Fucking awesome. Way to do it right off the bat. But what's the point of being able to cross-platform play if you don't get to play all the game modes with your friends? And here we have a specific mode that is going to be available on PlayStation 4 only for a year. I don't know what the specific mode is. I haven't seen any gameplay of it. I don't know exactly what survival mode, sorry. It doesn't really matter that I know what it is, whether or not it's something that I personally want to play or anything like that. It's an aspect of the game, right? People are all paying the same price for it. Wouldn't you assume you're getting the same product at the end of the day? Do they get a discount? And then, like, what? You can charge them in the future then they can, like, buy that. Like, they give them, like, $2 off. And then later when you add it, they can download it, but they have to pay $2 for it. Sure. Make up for it somehow. That being said, it's interesting the way they kind of defend themselves in these regards, right? And this is just bullshit business. 100% of the player's base gets spec ops and everything else in the game day one. Survival mode is the only thing in the game with a timed advantage to Sony. Like, even then, he goes, you can play spec ops and every new bit of content we drop day one, but you cannot. You can't. You just said before that you can't. Some people can, but not everyone. So every time you say that, you have to also then reiterate that fact. Otherwise, it's not fair, and it's very misleading. It's misleading to people that just aren't fucking hearing this, that don't know. There's a lot of people who go, God, I'm going to buy it. And it's not till after the fact they hear. And then what's the fucking point? A year later, who's still playing Call of Duties like a year later? How much of your player base is still around a year later consistently playing the game enough to where when their friends finally get a chance to play it with them, that they've been playing it for a year? Like, who cares in a year? If they don't get it at the beginning, no one fucking cares anymore. So it's just, at that point, it's just this thing that PS4 players get, and that's it. It's all good. We have tried our best to have an open dialogue with our players from day one, right? But you didn't. I mean, you're having an open dialogue now that people know that, but I don't think you had that open dialogue, and there's a fucking reason that you didn't mention this shit in the first place. So you're okay with letting the trust down because people are in a position where they have to. They have no other option. If they want the game, they have to. It's fucking simple for me. I'm not gonna get it. I don't like these practices. I'm kind of done with this AAA bullshit. Was very excited about getting the game. The funny thing is, too, is I was likely to get it on PS4 because I have a lot of friends who I play with on PS4 still, and I would have been privy to it, but I don't really care. I don't care. It seems minimal to you guys, you know, like maybe you've played it, maybe you know it's a shitty game mode, and we're all gonna fucking play it the day it comes out and be like, oh, you trust me, you won't care. We won't be playing it anyways. It's just beside the point, right? The point is, if we're paying the same amount of money for what you are trying to argue is the same product, but isn't, what the fuck? Anyways, I personally would like to promote the message of games that do things like this. They only offer content to a specific group of gamers or people playing on a specific console. They also then, they're providing an incentive that will benefit you on the playing field, how good you are, or how fast your gun can kill someone. The supply drop nonsense, loot boxes, it's just so frustrating. It's so frustrating. I mean, I get the appeal. It's just, no, I don't. I really don't. I don't get the appeal for cosmetics. I'm personally not somebody that cares about that aspect of the game. I don't give a shit what my character looks like. If they give it to me for free, I'll have fun for it. Borderlands 3, it's been a lot of fun messing around with skins and stuff like that. But if you need me to spend like real life money on it, I'm probably not going to be interested. But to each their own. Anyways, I'm going to throw out a strong recommendation of do not buy until they bend. Because they can. The game mode's available. Nesavar.